Hey guys, it is September 27th today, and I had a few minutes, so I thought I'd make a video, because I haven't done that in a while, and I just watched Ting's 8 months on T video, and it made me want to make a video, because it was a good video. You guys should go watch it. Anyways, so, chronology-wise, I am 9 months post-op, and I don't know how many months on T anymore, which I think is kind of cool because I always, even if I didn't make a video, was very aware the 18th of each month how many months I was. And now it's like, I know I'm more than a year, and I know I'm more than a year and a month, but I don't really think about it that much anymore, so I think I'm finally in that phase, and it's really, really cool. But yeah, so chest stuff. I guess I'll show you what my scars are looking like. I still feel weird getting naked on camera. So this is what my chest looks like now. And I am kind of ecstatic with it. The scars are actually more visible on camera than they are in person, except for this part. That's pretty much on camera what it looks like in real life. And I'm just super happy with them. I mean, I knew from my previous surgery, from my reduction, that my body scars pretty well, that my scars fade quite a bit and don't stretch too much. But this is like eons better than I could have hoped for. And I have not been exposing them to the sun at all. Even when I go outside for long periods of time with a shirt on, I'll put sunscreen on my nipples and my scars. SPF 60 I think I have. And so that's been very helpful, I think, in allowing my body to heal. And I honestly, like, I have no scientific proof for this, but I want to attribute at least 50% of how well my scars have healed to Alex Haney's scar cream, because I've been using that every day. Like, at the beginning, I was using it, like, the first few months after my scars were okay to put stuff on, I was using it at least twice a day. And now I use it at least at night, at least once a night, like before I go to bed, if not right after I get out of the shower, and then again when I go to bed. So it's, I don't know, I feel like when I wake up in the morning after, like, my scars have been doused with that cream, I guess, all night, that's when they look the best. So I really feel like that scar cream has done wonders. So for the billionth time, thank you, Alex, for letting us all in on that. So a few things. That spot there is still a bump, but I kind of stopped massaging it because I used to massage it when I was, like, lying in bed watching movies or whatever, but I just haven't been doing that a lot lately, which is weird for me, so I haven't had time to do that. And this spot here, so I went to an osteo for other stuff, and she confirmed my suspicion that it was just a tissue adhesion, which, thank God, because I was worried that it might be something else. But she said to just keep massaging it, and it should, like, release more and more with time. So that's good. In terms of range of motion, I'm good. I mean, that's as much range as I've ever had. Like, I can't go further back than that, but that's a shoulder thing, not a chest thing, so. But yeah, like, it's looking pretty good. The dog ears are pretty much gone. I guess they're still there a little bit. But yeah, and, like, my chest is finally starting to gain some mass, which is awesome. Yeah, so all good in that area. In terms of testosterone stuff, still getting hairier. That hasn't stopped. I can't tell if my hairline has changed or if it's just the haircuts that I've been getting, but I feel like it's a bit different. It's a bit more like, instead of, like, just a straight line. And this stuff, so I started growing a beard. I don't know if I've talked about this before. I decided to start letting face stuff happen. And for a while I was shaving, like, underneath here, but then Casper told me that apparently I'm not supposed to do that, so now I have, like, under neck chin beard thing, except for that spot. Can you see that spot? It's like Yeah. I don't get it. I try to like move my hair around so that it covers up that bald patch, but I don't even know what it is. But yeah, like wow, I never thought I'd say this, but I actually have more visible hair in real life than I do on camera. That's a first. Like this actually connects more than it looks like on camera. And the same but less on this side. My right side grows a little bit slower. That's fine. That's okay. And most guys, one side grows faster than the other. But yeah. So that's like testosterone-y chest updates. Life stuff, lots of that. First and clearly most importantly, I got a new tattoo. So, wow, that lighting is awful. You can't see it. Hold on. Yeah, that's my tattoo. I'm super, super happy with it. I'm a huge nerd. If you recognize it or you think you recognize it, it is what you think it is. And so combined with the one on the back of my arm, this is like the nerd arm. And then I'm gonna get a Harry Potter tattoo on this arm. So that's happening. I'm working a new job, which I don't want to jinx, but at this point, I've never had a job that I like more, that I look forward to every time I go to bed. And I'm ecstatic about it. I'm a dog walker. It's something I've been wanting to try out for a while, and my mom has like a huge Anatolian Shepherd that she needs help with occasionally, so she has a dog walker. And she mentioned to me a while ago that he was going to be going on vacation and needed some help, so I should contact him if I wanted to like kind of get into the game. So I did that a little while ago, and he's super, super, super nice. He almost immediately gave me 2 dogs that to walk every night and 3 times on Saturdays that I fell hard for these dogs. They are the sweetest dogs. Their names are Bailey and Oliver. They have matching raincoats. They are so sweet and like love me too, which is awesome. So I'm kind of obsessed with them. But so when he goes away, I'm going to be taking a lot of his dogs, and I love it so far. Like I hurt my back a few weeks ago and I like could barely walk, but I was still excited to go walk these dogs. Like I still wanted to go, and that's never happened to me with a job before. So it's really, really cool, and I'm enjoying it a lot. But it's keeping me kind of busy, in a good way, good busy. But it's a bit weird, and this is something I want to talk about that Ting's video actually reminded me I want to talk about, and that's like being stealth and passing kind of unintentionally. So none of my clients really know that I'm trans. Like there's no reason for them to know. And there's just like, there's comments that make me like giggle, like as if I'm getting away with something. Like the other day, when I was first meeting these people and their 2 dogs, I went over and you have to ask questions about dogs, like are they okay with other people, are they okay with other dogs, like do they have any weird tendencies, what, you know, like the usual stuff. And so I was asking all these questions, and the guy was saying, well, King is pretty good, like he gets afraid of other dogs sometimes, and Storm is pretty good, but sometimes he doesn't like men. And as he was saying that, Storm like ran over to me to say hello, and I don't know if like dogs can sense that there's like a higher level of maybe estrogen than a cis guy, or if they could smell that there's like a discrepancy there. But he was like immediately like affectionate towards me, and the guy was like, oh, that's kind of funny, like he doesn't usually do that. And I was just like like oh, if only you knew. But like it's just really funny that people like say all these things and they have no idea that what they're not implying, but like I don't know, they just have no idea. Like I think it's so funny. And I kind of had a little bit of a problem with it a few weeks ago because I texted one of my clients to remind me that he owed me on a Friday, like how much money he owed me on Friday. And he was going to be out of town, so he wrote me back, just text my girlfriend and she'll write you a check. And I immediately was like, oh, fuck. Because my name's not changed yet, and if she wrote me a check, that would mean that she would have to write my birth name on it, which means I would have to tell them my birth name, which means that they would know something was up. Ting suggested that I make up some story, like that I either had like a joint bank account with my sister, or that like I owed her money or something, like, and just say that that wasn't my name. So that was like my fallback plan, but I was really hoping not to do that. And then my therapist actually had a really, really good idea, was to just get a book of receipts, because a lot of the time people don't want to pay in cash just because there's no proof of it. So if I were to offer a receipt, then they'd be more inclined to pay in cash. So I was like, that's fucking brilliant, therapist, thank you for that $100 session for that one idea. So I went to Bureau and Grow, I got a book of receipts, and I texted and the girlfriend and said, hey, this is how much you owe me, like, cash is easier for me, and I could give you a receipt if you want, which I felt was like a pretty not sketchy reason to ask for cash, or, you know, like, it just seemed like a normal thing to say. And I texted her like in the morning the day before she was supposed to pay me. And so she wrote me back at the end of the day and she said, oh, sorry, I don't have that much cash. Like, I could only write you a check. So I was like, at that point, I was like, okay, whatever. And she asked what name to write it to, and she meant, like, what's your last name? Because she knew my first name already, but I was just like, just make it out to that name. Like, I gave her my birth name. And she's like, okay, I'll leave it on the desk. Like, there was no question, there was no hesitation, there was... So I don't really know what they think, but I'm hoping that in the future, most people will pay in cash, so I don't have to deal with that. I actually went to the bank and asked them if there was something that they could do about it, like to accept checks made out to Clark. And they said that there wasn't, although I got to come out to the entire staff that was working that day at the bank, so that was a grand old time. But yeah, so it's just funny that, like, maybe it's the beard, maybe it's the voice, I don't know, that I'm, like, unquestionably male. And even, I guess, when I give my name, like, I don't know what these people think now that they have this other name, but since they didn't say anything, I can only assume that they think it's somebody else. And it's just weird to, like, pass no questions asked. God, this video is getting long, and I apologize, but I have another story. So I went to get a haircut the other day. I'll try to make this quick. And I, like, looked as I was walking to my car, just, like, at people, and I saw this guy, and my first thought was like, oh, he's kind of cute. And then I looked, like, did like a double take kind of. I'm like, holy shit, that guy looks really familiar. Where do I know him from? So I did, like, a few double takes, and he kind of saw me looking at him and probably thought I was checking him out. And so it was someone who is on a show. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's someone who's on a show that I used to watch quite regularly. And as I was getting into my car, I was trying to take a picture of him because my sister is a little bit obsessed with this show too, and I knew she wouldn't believe that I saw him. So I was, like, in my car, like, with my phone, trying to, like, lean over and make it look like I wasn't being a total fucking creeper. But every time I, like, looked to see where he had moved to, he was looking at me. So I was like, oh my god, he so knows what I'm trying to do. So I'm like, I'm not gonna be that guy. So I just started pulling out my parking space, but there was a lot of traffic, so I couldn't, like, get out yet. And then I, like, look over, and he's walking towards my car, and he, like, leans on my window, and he's like, hey, I saw you before, and I wanted to say hi. And I was just like, oh my god. And I don't know if I played it as cool as I think I did in my head, but we just started talking, and then I was like, I'm sorry, you look really familiar. And he's like, oh, I'm an actor. And I was like, oh yeah. And I, like, said the show, like, as if I hadn't already realized this. And anyways, like, I gave him my number, so I got hit on by this guy, and this was, like, a while ago, and I was actually, like, I really was planning to go grab a coffee with him, but like it's complicated for me because of my allergies. I can't go to, like, I don't feel comfortable in restaurants, and I can't just, well, I could just go to a bar, but like I don't drink, so I'd be sitting there with like an apple juice or like a glass of water. So I felt kind of weird, and I was like telling him all these things, and it really did seem like I was just flaky and trying to get out of it, but it was like legitimate reasons why I couldn't meet. So I don't think it's gonna happen in the end. But it's okay, because I was very nervous about having to come out to him as trans, because the way that he approached me and the way that he was like messaging me every time we spoke, it was obvious that he wanted like physical sex, which even if I was ready for, how do you come out to someone who you don't know, who's like moderately famous, who you like frequently, like, okay, my sister and I like repeat this guy's character's lines to each other on a regular basis. Like, that's how much we watched this show. So I just felt like it was weird, and that I would accidentally call him by his character's name instead of his real name, and so I don't think that's gonna happen. But it was just a really funny thing, and it made me feel good and made me realize how homosexual I appear, because I think it's like a weird, not weird, it's a more difficult thing to hit on someone when you're gay than when you're straight, because there's always the question if the person you're hitting on is also gay, and if they'll react badly. So what I'm trying to say is I must have looked really, really gay for him to have the guts to hit on me without question. So that's kind of funny, whatever. Anyways, those are all my updates, I think. Yeah, that's a long video, and I'm sorry for not making a lot of videos lately, but I'm busy in a good way, so I'll update you guys when I need to, I guess. Hope you're all doing great, and you're having a good summer, and hopefully a good fall soon, because I'm ready for that to happen, and yeah.